What is atomic diplomacy? Atomic diplomacy refers to the attempts to use the threat of nuclear warfare to achieve diplomatic goals. After the first successful test of atomic bomb in 1945, U.S. officials immediately considered the potential non-military benefits that could be derived from the American nuclear monopoly. Context. During the Second World War, the United States, Britain, Germany, and USSR were all engaged in scientific research to develop the atomic bomb. U.S. officials did not debate or plan whether to use the atomic bomb against Japan, but argued that it was a means to bring a rapid and conclusive end to the Pacific conflict and reduce conventional war casualties.
For Japan joined the Axis alliance alongside Nazi Germany and Fascist Italy and adopted an expansionist military policy across Asia and the Pacific. The surprise attack on Pearl Harbor aimed to weaken United States naval power, while coordinated attacks on American British bases in territories such as the Philippines, Guam, Wake Islands, British Malaya, and Hong Kong served as preludes to wider invasions and occupations. These events led to the formal entry of the United States. At the same time, a climate of fear, economic competition, and anti-Asian racism intensified in the United States. Policies such as an executive order authorized the incineration of Japanese Americans, incarceration, including families and children. Meanwhile, Allied prisoners of war held by Japanese forces in Asia experienced harsh conditions, including malnutrition and difficult living environments. And declassified documents later revealed the existence of biological warfare research and extreme wartime experimentation by Japanese authorities.
As the Pacific War continued, Japan's national resources became increasingly exhausted and its strategic position weakened. Japanese leaders debated whether to continue fighting, surrender unconditionally, or negotiate peace under more favorable conditions. Some officials considered seeking mediation from the Soviet Union, although those exist about whether Moscow would generally support Japan at the same time. Allied leaders issued diplomatic ultimatums, offering Japan opportunity to end the war, while the United States prepared invasion plans and was aware that Japan was already facing a desperate military and economic situation. American leadership also hoped that Soviet entry into the conflict would increase pressure on Japan, reflecting a broader perception of total war shaped by years of intense fighting.
During the atomic bombing brought unprecedented destruction, the first bomb devastated Hiroshima, where the blast, extreme heat, and radiation caused massive civilian casualties and long-term suffering due to radioactive effects. Despite the scale of destruction, Japan did not surrender immediately. Soon after, the Soviet Union declared war on Japan and launched a major offensive in territories such as Manchuria, increasing pressure on Japanese leadership. A second atomic bomb was dropped on Nagasaki, causing further destruction, additional civilian death, and intensifying the urgency of the situation. This event demonstrated the devastating power of nuclear weapons and contributed to the perspective that continued resistance could lead to the total nation collapse. After facing economic exhaustion, military defeat, and the threat of the multi-front war, including possible Soviet invasion, Japan eventually accepted Allied surrender terms. After the conflict, the United States began shaping occupation policy and defining the broad post-war strategy in Asia. The successful development and use of atomic weapons gave the United States a temporary nuclear monopoly, strength in diplomatic confidence, and a strategic global position. In later historical interpretation, some historians argued that the bombing may have also served to increase American leverage in future negotiations with the Soviet Union and influence the emerging balance of the power in post-war.
From our perspective, these actions cannot be explained only as military decisions to end the war quickly. They can also be interpreted as part of atomic diplomacy, since the demonstration of nuclear power helped the United States strengthen its political, diplomatic, and strategic position in relation to the Soviet Union. Even if President Truman publicly stated that his intention was not to intimidate Stalin, the possession and use of atomic weapons clearly influenced international relations and perceptions of security. At the same time, ethical concerns arise from the large number of innocent civilians who died as a result of the bombings. This creates a moral dilemma similar to other events of the period, for example, Nazi Germany. Concentration camps were strongly motivated by ideological hatred and beliefs about racial superiority, leading to segregation, forced labor, torture, and the bombings can be understood more as strategic actions aimed at achieving military and diplomatic objectives rather than purely ideological hatred. However, this distinction does not justify the suffering caused, since civilians ultimately became victims of decisions driven by power, fear, and geopolitical competition. Both Japan and the United States committed harsher actions during the war, reflecting the brutal reality of total conflict. These events suggest that in global struggles for dominance and security, ordinary people are often treated as pawns within broader political and military strategies.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, the United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked, a date which will live in infamy.